Veteran journalist Jane Pauley officially begins her new role right here at CBS this weekend after being named the new host of CBS Sunday Morning. Woo-hoo! She succeeds Charles Osgood, who you know retired from TV last month. Her first broadcast as host of the show will be this Sunday. With more than 4 decades of reporting, Jane joined Sunday Morning as a contributor back in 2014. She conducted high-profile interviews ranging from Hillary Clinton to David Letterman. Jane Pauley is with us at the table, getting ready to start the new gig.
Yeah.
Jane, did you think you're starting a new chapter when 40 years ago you were starting a new chapter at the Today Show?
Hey, this is astonishing. 40 years less 2 days from my debut at 25.
Yeah.
Replacing Barbara Walters.
Replacing Barbara Walters, which
yes.
was absurd.
And now succeeding Charles Osgood, which is...
So I'm changing my name, Jane Charles Pauley. But I'm the first, this is history. I am the first non-Charles to host a Sunday Morning.
But did you think you'd be starting a new chapter now? That's what I think is so cool about this. Don't you, Charlie?
Yeah, absolutely.
So cool.
Look, I wrote the book, Your Life Calling, which was all about the idea of there's more.
Yes.
But did I anticipate a lot more? No. This is, a surprise, even for me. But, Charles Osgood started as host 22 years ago when he was in his early 60s.
I'll bet
and I don't think
did anybody say, hey,
I don't
Charles?
think it was noticed at all. But that's the advantage is that, our generation is getting a heads up that there can be more. And it doesn't have to be a big whiz-bang more, but...
But this is a whiz-bang more.
This certainly is.
A whiz-bang more.
This certainly
And you mentioned two Charles, the great Charles Kuralt first, then Charles Osgood.
Yes. And since 1979, I'm only the third, host.
But when you subbed back in 2014, you had a different look when you went on the air, Jane Pauley.
I told. I laugh at this, but because I was the first woman to host the show with an asterisk. There's an asterisk there, but basically the first woman. And I was very self-conscious about, because the viewers in Sunday Morning, So I went out and bought a pantsuit so that, that silhouette, there would be someone in pants saying...
You didn't want to shock the viewers?
Yeah. Now, the second time I was invited to sub for Charlie, I believe I braved heels in a dress. But I literally...
And what are you wearing this Sunday?
I don't know what I'm wearing. I don't know. First day of school, and I don't even know.
Are you a little nervous, excited, or what? How are you feeling?
I can't wait for it to become my new routine. I've been very busy this week and love it. I have loved being just busy.
And having purpose.
Having purpose. That is...
Absolutely.
And consciously aware of that. I didn't know I was less happy a week or two ago, but this has been a revelation to me.
And you got this great interview with Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes, we were privileged to have 2 opportunities with her, one in chambers and one in her home. And my favorite moment there in that conversation was when she took us on a tour. It's not a big, it's a lovely but small apartment. But we're in her kitchen, and she's a cook, kind of like I'm a cook, but she opened...
What does that mean, she's a cook like I'm a cook? Are you not really a cook?
Not so much.
Okay.
I mean, I provide.
Okay, got it.
But I wouldn't invite you to my house. But she opens the freezer, and we see the little, I think, the gourmet meals that her daughter, Jane, who is a law professor at Columbia, prepares for her to use. And she pointed to... She says the appliance in her kitchen that she uses
The refrigerator.
So her daughter makes all those...
Her daughter
You know why her daughter does it?
Why?
Because her late husband was a fantastic chef. And she tried to do the weekday meals, and finally the family said, Mom, just let Dad do it. And then the daughters were worried about her, so they started taking care of her.
She eats well. No, at some point, her daughter Jane said that Mom does the thinking and Daddy does the cooking. But, I mean, he was a brilliant tax expert, and in his own right, Martin Ginsburg.
That makes for a good relationship, just speaking from experience.
Indeed. Though I do...
Either cook or own restaurants, one or the other.
I'm a grandmother now, and I do wish that I need to perfect 1, 2, or 3 things at least. that grandchildren can say, you know,
Jane, can I go back to your Today Show anniversary? Because I remember that when you were on the air, 25, 26, going, wow.
Yeah.
And when you look back on that, what do you think about what that has meant to you, to women, and then here you are starting a new thing?
Do you know, I wish that 25-year-old me, knew that this could happen.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at that picture. Am I not kind of accidentally wearing an outfit that echoes that black thing?
You are!
I didn't do that on purpose. Anyway, but no, over the years, women particularly have said they remember and that was empowering. And even younger women who were then teenagers and young girls noticed. I've interviewed Meg Ryan recently, Sarah Jessica Parker for a future segment on the show, and both of them recalled specifically, you know, taking note of that. It was empowering to see this young person. I think something is empowering seeing, you know, mature person such as myself starting something, you know, new too.
Yes.
Don't you?
Well, very much so. That's why I think it's so ironic.
It's a great tribute to the idea that you can constantly repot your life.
Yeah, and grow. Every episode of my career has required me to learn new things.
Exactly.
And so I hope there's going to be a little growth curve.
Oh, you do? You want a curve?
Yeah. I got to figure out something to say at the end. I can't say "see you on the radio."
No, you can't.
That was great.
And you can't wear a bow tie.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want you in a bow tie.
Nah, I'm not gonna-
But Jane, will there be some musical numbers?
I've been
she likes to
known to
sing.
burst into song during an interview, but because they're not live and I know I'm in the edit room, that if it's really stupid, I can cut it.
Edit.
And then inevitably the producer and editors, oh no, that's just cute.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Jane, you don't know nothing about stupid, but really, congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much. Thank you.
So exciting.
Thank you,
We'll
guys.
all be tuning in. You can see more of Jane's interview. We didn't really see it this time, but you can see the interview with Justice Ginsburg. We were so busy talking to you on her official debut as host of Sunday Morning this weekend on, where, Jane?
Oh, the Sunday Morning.
CBS.
CBS. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
We'll be watching. Very exciting.
Yes.